Greetings, fellow interloper, it's Taylor, and I'm back just in time for all of you who still haven't unlocked the newest jetpack variation, the exotic wingpack, otherwise known as the Royal Jetpack. There are a lot of other rewards to be had from Expedition 5, but in my opinion, this is by far the coolest one. You'll be happy to know that you only need to complete one out of the 5 phases to get this, so this video will just be focusing on that one. Within each phase are a set number of milestone achievements that you must complete in order to claim the big phase reward. In this case, it's the Royal Jetpack for completing Phase 4. Even though we can get the jetpack from completing Phase 4, you'll have pretty much done every milestone for Phase 1, which rewards you with the Reality Glitch Jetpack Trail. So consider that a bonus because we don't really need to do anything extra for that. Now, if you wanted to say the new robot pet, you would need to complete all 5 phases, which is not the purpose of this walkthrough. But what I will do is at the end of the video include a couple locations of some really cool multi-tools that you can get. So for the few that actually stick around until the end, you'll be treated with a couple coordinates to some multi-tools. So let's jump in. Much like a brand new game, you're starting on a hazard planet. It's not quite like starting a fresh game on normal mode, where you have pretty much nothing. You actually have a nice jump start here. Everything you need to repair your ship and get off the planet is all around you. There's plenty of ferrite dust from rocks of all sizes, including many that look like avocados. There's also a lot of hazardous flora that you can kill for oxygen, as well as dihydrogen crystals and sodium. If you happen to come across the red crystals, which is condensed carbon, snag these because it will really cut down on the amount of refining you'll need to do. And there's literally thousands of trees around you for some easy carbon. So all told, you should aim to mine somewhere around 300 carbon and a couple hundred ferrite dust and 80 dihydrogen. The sodium you can find scattered about if you scan by pressing in on your left thumbstick. The only use we'll have for sodium right now is just to charge our hazard protection. Speaking of that, you can install an additional hazard protection mod once you have 60 oxygen. Sometimes your mining will churn up crystals and other rocks, which can be broken down to reveal another element, and in many cases, it can be condensed carbon, pure ferrite, or a variety of other things, making the process easier. So taking a quick look at Phase 1, we can knock out quite a few before we even leave the planet. After you've done the majority of your mining, you can hatch your pet egg. Yeah, you actually start with your very own companion. I completely missed this on my first playthrough. One of the achievements is riding your pet for 850 U, so you might as well hop on and head to your ship to earn the first of your rewards. You'll also get rewards for finding your ship as well as taking a photo of your companion. It's all on the expedition screen to keep track of. Again, make sure to claim all of your rewards because many of them will need to use right away. Repairing the ship is fairly easy once you've mined all of your elements. For the pulse engine, you'll need 1 hermetic seal, which is made from 30 condensed carbon, and 1 metal plating, which is 50 ferrite dust. The launch thrusters require 50 pure ferrite, which is refined from 100 ferrite dust, and 1 dihydrogen jelly, which is refined from 40 dihydrogen crystals. Make sure and take advantage of your portable refiner if you need to refine carbon or ferrite dust. There's a couple other items you can install, such as a terrain manipulator, which is optional but a good idea to have. That requires 1 dihydrogen jelly and 2 carbon nanotubes. You'll also be getting a launch system or charger, which is key to conserving that launch fuel. You'll need 5 antimatter, 2 wiring looms, and 2 magnetic resonators for this. You'll get 2 wiring looms as part of the reward for leaving the planet, and we'll get the 2 magnetic resonators shortly. You'll also be getting a teleport receiver, which really helps with inventory management. Again, it's optional, but it's something you'll be glad you had installed. That requires 1 antimatter and 3 wiring looms. Once you leave the planet, head for the space station. It takes a little bit to get there, so I use this time to collect my rewards and get everything installed as far as I can with the elements I have. Even though the space station is abandoned, you'll find there's a working trade terminal on the right side as you enter the station. Once there, you should have 500,000 units, as well as a few other things to sell once you collect your rewards. Buy 3 wiring looms, 5 microprocessors, and all the chromatic metal. I'd also recommend buying a few ion batteries for your hazard protection, and you might as well get some extra oxygen. Never hurts. You should now have everything you need to finish installing all of your components, as well as your hyperdrive. Before leaving the station, just make sure everything is installed, as well as a warp cell for leaving the system. You'll need to craft 1 antimatter and a housing for this. Now that you're ready to leave the system, pull the galaxy map up and find the system called Livskadal. Once you enter the system, you'll get the milestone reward for making a hyperjump. The 3 warp hypercore rewards will be more than enough to get you through this expedition. Now head to that large body of water on planet Aversal B32 and go for a swim. As with any planetary fauna, you'll need to be patient for them to spawn in, but once you're able, scan them for the Eyes in the Reeds milestone. This is a double dip milestone, as it also counts towards scanning 10 underwater fauna. Because you need 10, scan the rest of the underwater fauna while you're here. If you're wondering how to know if you've scanned them all, just go to the Discoveries tab and click on the fauna area for the planet. Even though you don't have the specific names revealed, you can see how many fauna there are for each area of the planet. For this one, it looks like there's 4 total fauna, with the other 3 on the next page. And while you're swimming around, there's another achievement for surviving an abyssal horror. They can be a little tricky to find, so always be scanning for these. Abyssal horrors will show up with a red exclamation mark icon, just like the hazardous flora icons that you see topside. You may be lucky to stumble upon one quickly, but if you don't spend a ton of time searching for one. We'll be back in the water a couple more times, so you can just head back to your ship and move on. Don't forget to keep an eye on your oxygen level. There's plenty of luminescent kelp plants around to refill your meter. Once back to your ship, you can claim your latest rewards. Don't install the mods though. We're heading to the system space station to sell those and buy a couple hyperdrive mods. Go ahead and get the S and C class mods and install those. These will really help eliminate some of the jumps we'll need to do. Also, while you're here, go ahead and purchase an extra slot for your exosuit, as well as the storage augmentations that you recently received. It's not necessary, but you might as well. Before leaving, track down an NPC pilot and purchase a couple magnetic resonators. Once you apply those to your launch system recharger, you'll be fully operational. A good rule of thumb after you've done a little progress is to step out of your ship to create an autosave. This is just a good idea because this expedition does seem to crash a lot. Once you're out of the space station, make sure you have your Rendezvous 1 selected and pull up the galaxy map. Our next stop will be the system of Romajan. Just find Doku Darb 8, which is the stop right before Rendezvous 1, and Romajan is just to the left of that. As a side note, there's a decent chance that you'll encounter a freighter battle. If you were doing the full expedition, I would encourage you to complete that and just claim your free freighter. But since this is just a streamlined video about just getting the wing pack, it's totally unnecessary. So now you'll want to look for the planet IMS 2. You'll probably see a few save beacons and player bases on this one, since this is where we'll adopt our beetle companion. Just pick a spot near a base with a beetle reference and land. Be patient, as these guys can take a while to spawn in. To kill some time, you can actually complete the companionship milestone, the one where you need to adopt 3 companions. The companion you currently have does not count, but don't abandon them yet. You'll need them to lay an egg once you're at the first rendezvous planet. The good news is you don't have to expand your companion slots and have all 3 at once. You can literally adopt a companion, cut them loose, and adopt another, then repeat. After your 3rd adoption, you'll receive the milestone. Now, this one's been a little odd for me because more times than not, it doesn't actually pop up the milestone achievement like the others. But when I go into my expedition tab, it shows that I've completed it. So keep that in mind once you've adopted your 3rd pet. And after you've adopted your 3rd pet, go ahead and cut them loose so you have a spot open for your beetle. So depending on the time of day, the beetles should be spawning in. I've seen them both day and night, but they do seem to be out more during the day. Just be patient, they will eventually arrive. Once you've tracked down and adopted your beetle for the Coleopterology milestone, I'm not going to tell you how many takes it took to pronounce that, head back to your ship and claim your recent rewards. You'll have a few more mods in your inventory now, but as with the previous ones, hang on to those to sell back for nanites. Head back to the skies and bring up your galaxy map. Again, make sure that you have the first rendezvous checkpoint as your active mission. Even though we're not heading for the checkpoint on this jump, it's helpful to see the next system in relation to the checkpoint. You're looking for the system Radisk 8, which is a large yellow system straight down from the checkpoint. Now, there's a reason for this system order because we needed these mods for a purchase in the Radisk system. Head to the planet Phalum 11 and head for a patch of open water. Once you're able to land, hit the water once more and scan all of the underwater fauna. As you can see by the planet profile, there's 4 underwater fauna to scan. If you weren't able to track down an abyssal horror on the last planet, you'll have an opportunity here. Once you hopefully find one, just get close enough to be pulled into its tractor beam. Mash on the X on Xbox or square on PlayStation to escape and earn your What Lurks Below milestone reward. If you're still unlucky with finding an abyssal horror, don't sweat it and spend a ton of time finding one. You'll have yet another shot at one in the Rendezvous 1 system. Scan the remaining underwater fauna and head to the system space station. If you like, you can upgrade your exosuit inventory, although it's not really needed. It's just to force a habit for me. Make sure to claim your latest milestone rewards and head to the multi-tool vendor to sell them. You'll have a nice balance of nanites to spend on an S-Class scanner upgrade, as well as an A-Class scanner upgrade, which is needed to achieve one of our upcoming milestones. The third scanner mod will be an upcoming reward. You should still have some nanites burning a hole in your spacesuit, so you might as well grab another hyperdrive mod. Once you're out of the station, it's time to head for Itron 7, the Rendezvous 1 system. Planet Raymer should be right in front of you. Once again, head for a large portion of open water and find an island to land on. Once there, you'll get the Homeworld achievement for visiting a lush planet. Now we can call up our original companion and induce an egg for the next generation achievement. And taking a look at the Discoveries tab reveals 5 underwater creatures to scan, so hit the water and start scanning. If you still need to, knock out the Abyssal Horror milestone. If you've been scanning all of the underwater fauna up to this point, you should have enough to get the Marine Biology milestone. And one of the rewards for this is an S-Class scanner mod. Go ahead and install that one. You should now have 2 S-Class and 1 A-Class scanner mods, which will be enough to get the Valuable Data milestone for earning 200,000 units for a single fauna scan. Now you can make your way over to the Rendezvous 1 icon. Once you're near the Rendezvous 1 icon, head south and land at the Planetary Archive to finish off Phase 1 and earn your Reality Glitch Jetpack Trail. Now you can go into your Expedition tab and select Rendezvous 4 as your next mission. You should have plenty of hyperdrive capacity to reach planet Loam 4. Once here, pulse to the Rendezvous 4 icon. Once you arrive at the icon, it tells you to land and scan, but if you head a little southwest and scan from your ship, Rendezvous 4 will be that unknown building that shows up. All that's left is to land and approach the structure to trigger your final milestone for Phase 4 and unlock that awesome exotic wing pack customization. As a reminder, it won't show up in the appearance modifier until you claim your expedition rewards at the Quicksilver vendor on the Anomaly. This will also be available to the rest of your saves and any future games you start. Just return to the vendor to claim it. And if you're still watching, you're probably looking for a couple bonus multi-tools that I talked about, so here we go. Alright, this first one is awesome, but the one downside, unfortunately, is that it is just a C-class, meaning that most likely the best you could probably hope for is a B-class, and then just kind of grind out some nanites to get it up to an S-class if you wanted. But man, that thing is so cool. In any event, here are the coordinates for that one. Alright, and this next one's going to require you to reload on the planet and then head up to the space station. For all you aspiring multi-tool hunters, if you're unsure of why we're doing this, check out my multi-tool hunting 101 video. There'll be a link to it at the end of this video. Oh, and here we go. An S-class cabinet in the space station. You don't see that every day. But the backup polygon auditor is a beautiful, clean, white, experimental multi-tool rifle. Very nice. And here's the coordinates for that one. Hey, did this walkthrough help you out? If so, I'd love to have another channel subscriber. If you really enjoyed it, please give the like button a little tappy tap, and leave a comment about anything you enjoyed, or anything that you think others might benefit from. Thanks so much for watching, guys. This is Taylor with Whiskey Barrel Gaming, signing off.